it's just that. I mean, that brings us to our next topic, man, because there was a meme that was being thrown around the internet. Not a meme, but a viral post about someone who was black saying, "I want to see black people fight slaying dragons, performing magic, and fighting aliens." To the effect of, "I'm sick of us dealing only with racism in our storylines." And in this comic book group that we were in, someone posted that they're kind of sick of seeing that too. And they were basically asking, can you have a black superhero who doesn't directly address racism? What was your reaction to that post and seeing what you saw?
Typically with those, they really go off topic a lot of times. They always typically go off topic. And the stuff I was seeing in there, it didn't really address what he was talking about, and basically just calling that man a coon and all this other stuff, which they had nothing to do of the answers he was looking for. But what I personally think about that is that it's like it's more of money. Like everybody's looking for money, like the big cash grab and stuff like that. So apparently, and again, I could be wrong, but from my perspective, this is what it is to me, is that Black Lives Matter is a cash grab. Like I know what they're trying to do and the movement and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, looking at the corporations and stuff like that, if we slap Black Lives Matter on the joint, then look, we're gonna be good to go. We're gonna make all these videos and all this other stuff. So, like, going back to your question of like, can we really like make a comic book? So, saying, again, all you need is the Black Lives Matter stamp on it to make sales and stuff like that. So the question is, can you survive without that? Without talking about slavery, without talking about black person being in poverty and stuff like that, and all the other stuff that basically like we're depicted at in the media, they wouldn't see it as a profit. It wouldn't be a profit for them, you know. Mm-hmm. To have a black person slaying a dragon isn't too big of a profit for them. So that's what I'm seeing in the industry, where it's like, man, all I want to do is be king of the powers. All I want to do is be the king of games and stuff like that. But it's like, nah, that's not profitable for us, because again, we need Black Lives Matter stamp on it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's really kind of what it comes down to from my perspective. Because again, Marvel and DC, they're about business. You know, what's going to sell. So again, just taking a regular story, and it's like, man, it's like, okay, this dude is so happily just to be black, and he's trying to save the world, or he's trying to fight for his galaxy, or he's trying to build a nation or something like that, something crazy. That's really not going to really come out in the industry, I feel like, because again, we need that something to deal with Black Lives Matter, something to do with like slavery or all this other that's talking about our pain and stuff like that. That's just what's going to, and it's really for real. The numbers, it kind of show. I'm gonna be real with you. It kind of show, because I see a lot of comic books that's amazing books that has nothing to do with slavery and all the other stuff, and they're not doing too good. But the people who are keep going towards, again, the typical stuff that media allows to be broadcast, they're being successful. So, like, seriously, is that what people want? Seriously, like, people talk a good game, but when it comes to going to the comic book shop and looking at the books that's on the shelves, are you going to seriously pick the people, the one that's not talking about slavery and all our pain and stuff, versus the one that's talking about, just saving the world? Not because they're black, not because of all this other stuff, but because they're just trying to save the world and they so happen to be black. Like, seriously, are you going to really pick that up?
Yeah, dude. It's a telling sign. We mentioned before prior in the behind the scene episode, my boy Jackson said that why is pain always the why is pain always the ticket, like the entryway, my attention grabber into buying a product as a black person? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's almost now to the point where it's kind of dangerous, where that's the only way I can relate to black characters if they deal with racism and if they deal with being black in a negative way in this country or in the world. And I think that is a dangerous narrative to keep putting out into the world. And I know the world is ugly, and I know the world is reflecting on this, but
Yeah,
still, to have, if you only view it, if you're seeing it in real life, and then you're seeing it in your entertainment, in your media, like that is almost too much. That's over sensory. That's sensory overload right there. And I think it becomes very harmful to yourself if you just keep seeing these images. Yes, you must know about the struggle. Yes, you must know about the hardships and what we went through and the sacrifices that have been made. Yes, some stories require it because that was a part of the story, but
yeah,
not all story requires that. Not every single film or comic book or book that features a black character has to deal directly with race. And I just saw some of the comments like, let's see, I understand it, but I don't respect it. And no, it's not. It's impossible to have a black character, a black superhero that doesn't directly address racism because racism is institutionalized, and for him to ignore that color is not a thing means that it's not realistic, and the character hates itself because and all this other jazz. And like you
man.
said, there's a lot of name calling, not directly but kind of indirectly insults on the poster, who asked, can you have a black superhero who doesn't directly address racism? And it's fiction. It's fictional. It's not real. You could, if it doesn't pertain to your story, why not? Like, I think it's just we shouldn't have to ask these. Yeah, we should ask these questions, but I don't think it needs to be so one noted. Like, yeah, if he's not black, that character is not black. If it doesn't recognize racism, it's not a real black character. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Why do we have to limit ourselves? You know, and at the end of the day, like, okay, I, I went to work this morning. I got pulled
Mhm.
over because we all know why I got pulled over. I won't. I was running 1 mile over the speed limit, but since I was in a nice car and I was black at the same time, like they pulled me
Mhm.
over. I went to work, whatever, lost. Say I lost my job or something like that because because some type of issue I had with somebody else, which I was right, but since I was black, I was wrong, and then I got basically let go, whatever. And I finally get home, and next thing you know, I finally just sit down. I'm already stressed out. I open up the comic book, and the next thing you know, I see more stuff that shows my pain and stuff of being black in America. It's like, God dang, it's like you cannot escape. You can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to limit
Yeah.
ourselves and to basically like cut off the escapism of going into the books and to the fantasy of, again, just a character that looked like us to be saving the world and doing all this other stuff, not because of our skin color, but this coming into a fun comic book. Like, why can't we have it? Why can't all the other races have it, but we can't have it? Like, yeah, like, yes, it's there. We don't have to mention it. We don't have to mention it. But at the same time, we don't have to center all our stories around it. You know,
Hmm.
like it's really tough, man, because um the people that's talking in that comment section, that's raging and stuff like that, bruh, it's all hate, man. Like, they all angry, and they have every right to be angry. But every time people bring up that subject, they start thinking like, look, man, they basically target their anger towards the people that's bringing up that topic. Yeah, you ever been mad at somebody, or you've been upset at work, then you come home and the next thing you know, somebody that live with you, you take out your anger on them. That's basically how it is. So
Yeah, these comment sections be on wildfire, just like you described, man. You on point. You ain't telling no lie, dog.
yeah, so at the end of the day, man, we gotta be mature about this stuff, man. Actually start answering these questions and figure out why are we so angry? Why do we have to really put this stuff into our comic book? Is it really because we're angry because we're holding on to all this hatred and stuff, or is it, you know, it's kind of hard to even talk about this myself, man, because I mean I'm still upset about certain things that's going on in America, and it's kind of hard to separate that stuff. But I'm training my mind not to cloud myself with that hatred and anger and stuff like that. And I'm trying to be more forgiving and stuff like that. Even though a lot of these people don't deserve to be forgiven, but if God can forgive me for all this other stuff, I'm pretty sure I can forgive them. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. Um, as far as these people in the comment section, I feel like they need to start asking themselves the questions of why do they need that? Like, why do they feel to see that? You know what I'm saying? In the comics, whatever. That stuff that has been ignored for decades in this industry, and to take it out in this matter, especially on our brothers, I don't feel like it's right. Even though it's been ignored, but at the same time, I feel like we need to finally moving forward past that stuff. We need to finally move forward and actually start empowering ourselves and stop putting negative stuff in our comics like that, where we can put inspiring stuff that brings us to the next level and stop being and making ourselves so limited. Like seeing slavery in the comics is going to always make my day even worse. But having something that's going to inspire me, like Superman did to everybody, like Spider-Man did to me when I was a kid and stuff, growing up, like how this man overcame his bills and all this other stuff that's going on, and he still chose other people to save. Again, with great power comes great responsibility. Instead of choosing his love life and stuff like that, he chose to save that person, but ruin his love life. I'm like, dang, man, like I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, inspirational
in the black comic book community. Instead of like, look, man, I hate this dude because he treated me this way, or because he looked the way he looked, and he treated me the way because of how I look. Like, bro, forget all that stuff. Let's start actually telling other stories. Like we had those stories already. We had those. Let's do some new stuff, bro. You know, like this is nothing against those other people who make those stories. Continue making those stories if you want to, but at the same time, don't knock the people who are creating other stories on the outside of that. So yeah. But that's how I feel. That's all opinion, man. Shoot,
dude, man. Like that. I mean, it's a lot to unpack. It's a lot to unfold. I think it's just dangerous how we feel like that's the only compelling thing about us. It's pain.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, really? That's it. That's the only thing that's the draw. Pain, suffering, depression. Yeah. That's it.
We're more than that, man. We deserve more than that.
Come on. And for a fictional character, purely made up character, someone pure creation, a superhero just wants to save the day. It doesn't deal with race. And you're a coon for even thinking about that. Like, well,
he's so quick, man, to bring down our people, bro. Instead of him just asking a serious question, like, yo, like, do we really have to have that in it? Like, no, you a coon if you think otherwise. Like, God, yo, chill. Everybody got a different opinion on it. Like, stop. Good Lord, man. That brother was just asking a question, man, and he was trying to learn. Like, yo, seriously, answer this question. What can you find within yourself that makes you feel this way? And instead of trying to answer that question, he just like, man, look, long story short, you're cool. You need to stop doing all this stuff. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's messed up.
It is messed up. It is messed up how like it's an honest question, and we kind of bring each other down when it comes to these topics and these discussions. And I just gotta say, man, it's really it should be an open discussion, and it shouldn't be so blatantly like, yeah, they can't. No, they need to deal with racism. Like, well, why not? Why not in a made up in this reality? Why? Sure, you can have a storyline where they have to deal with some of it. There has to be some acknowledgement of it, but the whole story isn't centered about it. The main conflict of your story isn't racism. It's stop the
Yeah,
supervillain. But yes, there might be an acknowledgement of racism in play to get something, but it's not the main problem of the story. It's not the main, problem of the book. And I'll be honest with you, I know this is gonna make people kind of pissed off, but when Sam Wilson became Captain America in the comic books, I was like, cool, great, awesome. And after Rick Remender had his run and all new Captain America, and Nick Spencer took over, I'll be honest, his whole run dealt with racism, which, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's cool, it's Black Cap, he's going to deal with racism. But that's all he was able to deal was racism. He didn't have a cool kick ass storyline of him just saving the world besides Rick Remender's run or in the
yeah,
Avengers books. So his whole storyline was centered around racism that he couldn't even really be Captain America. He had to be Captain America dealing with racism. And
It ain't
I,
bad,
I know I'm gonna get hate for that. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that, but I think it was not. Uh, I think it kind of hurt his run as Cap. I
yeah,
think it was too much built on that he couldn't just you couldn't just let him breathe and be heroic and be what I'm saying, be heroic and be kick ass and cool and have that really cool defining moment as Captain America. You had him deal with protesters and rioters and police and you're not worthy of the shield and this and that. And it's like it's cool for the first three, four. You went on like 10 plus issues about the same issue. And it's
yeah.
like I toned out, and I was excited for it, and I toned out after a while because it was just too much.
Yeah.
I'm saying? Too much of the same shit. So I think creatively, if we keep pulling on that shit, like that's bad, man. That just keeps creating these stories of the same thing, same old thing of I'm in pain, I'm in agony, I'm getting whooped by the police, I'm getting whooped by my slave master, I'm getting whooped by my community. Like we have got to expand our creativity here and tell some decent stories without all that noise in it. Like I just you have a new book coming out and it's like, oh, there's a black character. Got to deal with racism. New movie with a black character. Got to deal with racism. Like that's we got to stop painting ourselves in the corner. And the police as a supervillain is that's overused now. I'm sorry, like using the police as like a super villain, as a villain type. Like, I get it. We used the KKK. Superman fought the KKK. Black Panther fought the KKK. Batman fought the K. Plenty of people fought the KKK. And that's fine fighting the police, but it can't be just constant.
Like,
It just
let's
becomes just so like boring, in my opinion.
don't wear it out. Like you already did, seriously. But as far as let's do a comparison towards the static origin and the new static origin.
Oh
Let's
shit! Here we
compare
go. Let's do it.
mercy, boy, Harry.
Here we go. I'm gonna pray for you, man.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we already digged our own graves, anyways. Because
Yeah.
as soon as you say something that people don't agree with, it's like, man, ban this man. Oh, kill his career. Well, he has a family to provide for. No, kill his career. Like we don't agree with the same thing. Kill it. Anyways, as far as the new origin versus the old origin, what was the big difference?
The big difference was a Black Lives Matter protest and him kind of in his origins he had the opportunity to take someone's life and he didn't. He chose to do the right thing, and he didn't take out his bully's life because he felt threatened by him. In this new origin, he just attends a Black Lives Matter protest and gets the gas thrown on him, and then that's that. While in the old, he was in a kind of like a gang warfare type deal and had the opportunity to take out a bully and he didn't. And then the cops showed up and threw the tear gas that had the chemicals to give him the powers. The Big Bang.
Yep. So I mean, just going off of what you just said, bro. Like that's that's my whole point. Like I related so much more to the old origin, and anybody can relate so much more to the old origin versus the one that we just got. Like, yo, come on, bro. Like let's let's be more than this, bro. Like the
Yeah,
whole gang and stuff like that. Like, bro, anybody can be in poverty and join a gang and stuff like that because they feel well any type of way. You know, like not only black
right.
gangs. You know what I'm saying? You got the mafia that's Italian, German. We got all these other, yeah, Asians. Like we got all these other people that can join a gang. So gang is not exclusive to the blacks. So yeah, like other people have their own reasons to join gangs and stuff like that. And you know, Virgil Hawkins had to go through that. So, but this new origin is just like, bruh, here you go. Black Lives Matter, and like I understand they trying to grow with the times and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, man, like let's get deeper than this. You know, we talked about this whole Black Lives Matter and stuff. Like again, there's more pain that we gotta deal with.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we can do so much more better than that, man. I feel like I don't know. Again, when I say I feel like, it's what I feel. It's how I feel. Everybody else like the origin and stuff. That's cool with y'all. How I feel about it. And how I feel about it is that I'm just gonna have to stick with the original.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
how I feel about
he had a Peter Parker moment. Anyone can relate to. I have someone who's bothering me, and I'm getting to the point where I want to do physical harm on them. You know what I'm saying? To the
it.
point where you have an opportunity to take their life away from them, to snuff them out. And the fact that he didn't show that good person in him, to show that heroic Peter Parker esque quality to him. No,
Yeah.
this new version, he just showed up to the show. He just showed up and like, oh shit, I got gas thrown on me. I'm heroic now. I'm a superhero. While
Yeah.
the origin had something that everyone can kind of relate to, taking out taking out your aggression on your bully. You know, everyone's gotten bullied at some point. You know, either be your boss, high school, whatever, even at friends at some point. And you're like, damn, I wish I could do something. And Virgil had the opportunity to do something. He didn't take it. And I think that's something anyone and everyone can kind of relate to in their lives. But this new version, like you said, the Black Lives Matter, and I understand they're trying to update it, but that almost feels like a first draft of the script. I'll tell you what, if I was to write the Static Shock origins, like this, I would feel like that wasn't good enough. I would feel like, yeah, I got to do something else. I would feel like that's like a rough draft idea. I don't feel like that's like a someone put some serious thought into it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel comfortable. I'd be like, nah, this got to be something more. There's got to be something extra. This isn't good enough. I'm not sure if that's just creative control on DC's part or if that was actually the writer who's like, no, this is good enough. I don't know, but again, like we gotta using that as a basic blank template for everything we do in comics and entertainment. That's not good. That is not good, man. That is it just gets redundant, it gets played out, and I think it hinders us as entertainers and storytellers, and it paints our legacies and it paints our abilities in one corner to where hell, maybe one day or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like DC wants to hire me or you for to write a book, a mini series, and they give us a black character, and we're like, well, we know what they want. And it
Oh,
shouldn't be like that. We shouldn't feel like, damn, I know
that's tough.
exactly what the fuck they want me to write. You know?
And it's like if you write something different, it's like, man, yeah, you want it for the job. So skedaddle, like, dang, it gotta hurt though. Like for real, it's like right in front of our faces, man. I feel halfway disrespected as well. You know, like, look, that's all I am to y'all is like this black dude dealing with all these racist problems and all this. That's all I am to y'all. I'm not no like genius, or I'm not no dude who chose other people over myself. I'm not this person that overcame these obstacles on my own just off of hard work. I'm not this person that pushed this lady out the street and got hit by the car and got back to life because I got a second chance. I'm not none of that stuff. All I am is, look, I've been through slavery. I've been through getting talked bad about with the police and stuff like that. Got arrested for no reason. That's all I am. I'm just if it doesn't meet those, then basically I'm not gonna ever get the job. So it's like it's disrespectful, man. Like I know plenty of people I've met that's more than what they depicted as the stereotypical types in the comic books. They're a lot more than that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh boy, I don't know. Let me.
It's a mess, man. But you got anything else to say on the subject?
Let's just start really pointing the fingers, man, at our self-worth. We're worth more than this, man. You know, we're worth a lot more than what these books are allowing to be put out or allowing to be broadcast. We're more than that, you know. So if anybody that thinks that we're confined or limited to this stuff, man, we gotta check ourselves on it, bro. Because it starts with us first, and then it gets towards them. Because you know, it's hard to even put a word on it, bro. It's a touchy subject right here.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. I think that paints us into a corner, and we become one-dimensional figures if we continue this type of storytelling for the next 5, 10, 20 years. And I think that it does more harm than good if we just look at ourselves as one-dimensional beings of one kind of story and one kind of pain and one kind of storyline for victory is to have the battle every time, systematic racism, and it's honestly not going to do more. It's going to do more harm than good in the long run. And I hope we can get together as a people to view these storylines and to see them for what they're worth and to not just rely on them as a crutch for every single opportunity to be creative.
Yes, sir.